Good evening everyone, and welcome to the regularly scheduled Gundam news. A few days ago, I talked about all of those model kits that were announced at the 63rd All Japan Model and Hobby Show, so how about we kick things off with yet another model kit announcement. The Premium Bandai Limited Real Great Hyper Mega Bazooka Launcher for Hi-Nu Gundam and Fin Funnel Display Set. Not to be confused with the Premium Bandai Limited Real Great Hyper Mega Bazooka Launcher for Hi-Nu Gundam that we got a couple of years ago. That Hyper Mega Bazooka Launcher had a completely different design, and it didn't come with the fin funnel effect parts that this new set does come with. So for 3,080 yen, 20 US, you're getting the Hyper Mega Bazooka Launcher with a cable that connects to somewhere, an action base in the form of Amro's personal emblem for the Hi-Nu Gundam, another action base with 6 arms for the fin funnels, and 3 pairs of different fin funnel effect parts. 2 that are like beginning to charge, 2 that are like at full charge, and then 2 that are straight up firing. So definitely quite the eye-catching display, which can be yours in November. Related to the Gunpla news then, from November 15th until December 14th, the second high-quality Gunpla Scan trial will be held at the Gundam base in Tokyo. Reservations are currently up, but unfortunately it does say that you have to be a Japanese resident to apply. And just as with the Gunpla Museum, resident does not mean citizen, so even foreigners just like living in Japan can apply for this, like for example if you're an exchange student. So what can these people do when they sign up for the service? And well, we've got some good things, but also some not so good things. Participating in the trial will set you back 2,200 yen, 14 US, and just as in the first trial, people will be able to scan their Gunpla and then they'll get this data to play around with. But what then sets this apart from the first trial is that there's DLC, and it's kinda pricey for what you're getting, and also for how long you're getting it. Number 1 is the Diorama Movie Studio. Here you can get your Gunpla placed in a movie, just like they did in one of the earlier tests. The catch here is that each movie you want to make will cost you 1,100 yen or 7 US. And the example that they show is under 1 minute long, so don't expect these movies to be too long either. And on top of that, you only have until December 31st to make these movies. But at the very least, you can download them as an MP4, so once you made them, you got them. At least if you immediately download them as well before December 31st. And unfortunately, this is not something I can say for the other things you can do. Number 2 is the Action Studio. Here you can pose your Gunpla in various action poses, but they are all predetermined. You can choose between 5 free ones and then a bunch of paid ones, which will cost you 330 yen each or 2 US. And then at the end of March, the service, along with the poses you purchased, are gone. And it's a similar story with number 3, the Action Simulator. Basically, it's a minigame where you get to control your Gunpla to take out some enemies, and it looks fair enough for a freebie. Except, it's not a freebie. It'll cost you 1,650 yen, 11 US, and again, you'll only be able to play this thing until the end of March. Like seriously, just let people download it as an EXE or something. It's not an MMO requiring a constant internet connection. It's a 5-minute novelty minigame that people paid good money to get for what it is. For the physical figures then, we first go to China, because a few weeks ago, they unveiled next year's Zodiac Gundam. 2026 is going to be the year of the horse, so we now have the Horse Gundam. And no, it's not going to be a variant of the Unicorn, it's a variant of the RX-78 too. It's got a horse head on its chest, hooves for feet, horseshoes on the knees and elbows, and little horse ears next to its mohawk. So definitely another interesting design to say the least. And of course, they also immediately announced a bunch of figures of the Horse Gundam, which you'll be able to get in China. But while there are already some images of these figures, for most of them, more details are yet to be announced. For example, somewhere in 2026, we'll be getting a standard SD figure, a gold-plated SD figure, a BN Metalworks figure, and a collectible line featuring the Horse Gundam, a shiny Horse Gundam, and a bunch of previous Zodiac Gundams. In December then, they're getting a Horse Gundam Ichiban Sho, which is the Chinese equivalent of the Japanese Ichiban Kuji. You buy a lottery ticket for 68 yuan, around 10 US, and you always win something. The A prize is a 25cm tall figure of the Horse Gundam, the B prize is an SD figure of the Horse Gundam or the Snake Gundam, the C prize is an SD Horse Gundam figure in a special color scheme, the D prize is an SD keychain, the E prize is something that looks like a coaster, the F prize is an acrylic stand of one of the Zodiac Gundams, the G prize is a mini SD something, and finally, the last one prize is a special Kunio Okawara version of the Horse Gundam. Back to Japan then, where we got an online limited gachapon from Mobile Suit Ensemble, the Black Knight Squad. They're slated for a late March release, and for 800 yen a spin, 5 US, you can get the Shiva or one of 4 different colored Rudras. And just today, they announced the equally limited, Premium Bandai Limited Mobile Suit Ensemble EX56 Zeus silhouette. Designed to go with your EX55 Destiny Gundam Spec 2, this massive weapon pack can be yours in February for 6,600 yen, 43 US. It's 19 centimeters long in mobile armor mode and 18 centimeters long in cannon mode, a bit over 7 inches, and we've got some other accessories as well. There's a replacement body for the Destiny, a closed shield for the Destiny, and a big action base with pieces designed to hold both the Zeus silhouette by itself and the Zeus silhouette when it's combined with the Destiny Gundam. So yeah, as usual with these Premium Bandai Ensemble sets, they're not cheap, but at least they come with some cool accessories. And what also happened today were lottery pre-orders for the Gundam Fixed Figuration Metal Composite Unicorn Gundam Store Limited Edition, with the stores in question being the Tamashii Nation Store Tokyo and the Tamashii Spot Osaka. So people with a Japan-only Club Tamashii membership can enter this lottery, and if they win it, they can buy this new unicorn at the aforementioned stores for 26,500 yen, 180 US. And as far as I can tell, it's a re-release of the 2010 version, but now with a higher price tag, a fancier action base, and less accessories. You heard that correctly. Higher price tag, less accessories. The beam gatlings are no longer included, leaving just the beam magnum with 2 spare magazines, the bazooka, the shield, 2 beam saber blade effect parts for the 4 beam sabers, and 3 different V-fins, a transformable one and 2 non-transformable ones, for the unicorn mode and the destroy mode, because this figure can change between the modes. The page also mentions that it's got a new color scheme, and in the images, it does look more grayish than the old figure. Somewhere between action figures and model kits then, we got the announcement of the 9th lineup of G-Frame Full Armor, consisting of the G-Fred, the Zai Gundam, and the Zaku 1. And for the GQuuuuuX and the Zaku 1, it is the usual G-Frame Full Armor fare. They consist of an armor set and a frame set, which also comes with all of the accessories. For the G-Fred, this is a beam rifle, shield, 2 inactive beam sabers, 1 active beam saber, and 2 active ear funnels. And for the Zaku 1, this is the Zaku 1 bazooka, shoulder piece for shouldering that bazooka, Zaku 1 machine gun, spare magazine for the Zaku 1 machine gun, Heat Hawk, Sturmfaust, spike shield, and commander antenna. But for the Zai Gundam, you'll need 3 sets for a full figure, because of course it is a much more massive mobile suit. The armor set just comes with the basic armor, the frame set has a movable frame, beam rifle, and shield, and then it has an extra option set that comes with the chunky shoulder armor and optional hands. Each set will set you back 748 yen, 5 US, and is slated for a March release. And for some more random things to buy then, on the 25th, the Sunrise Anniversary Girls Fair will begin at 6 Sunrise World stores in Japan, being Tokyo, Yokohama, Hakata, Kyoto, Sendai, and Koshigaya. To celebrate the anniversaries of Zeta Gundam Dirty Pair, Gear Fighter Dendo, and My Otome, the main girls of the series will be appearing on various pieces of merchandise as well as other things. And specifically for the merchandise, Gundam Wing and Iron-Blooded Orphans merch will also be available. We've got acrylic stands, art boards, tapestries, and acrylic logo display stands, and for every 3,000 yen you spend, you'll also get one of 4 random shikishi. Depending on the location then, there will also be other things to do, like looking at a showcase of those anime, or getting a fortune latte with a printed design featuring one of the girls from the featured anime, like 4, Kei, Yuri, or Camille. Meanwhile, on the gaming front then, in Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation, the Amaxa has joined the fray, while on Steam the Vignagina has become available. In UC Engage, there's a new event unit assembly for Char Aznable and Zeong, as well as a new combat power augmentation operation, and a new raid battle featuring the RX-78-2, and from G Generation Eternal, we also got some cool news. First and foremost, the game is now available on PC, through Google Play Games on PC, which I'm sure will broaden the potential player base. As for the new things you can do in the game then, we're getting some more anniversary celebrations. For Gundam Wing's 30th anniversary, there's a special panel mission, which will give you an SSR Wing Gundam Endless Waltz version and SSR Heero Yui, and then for the half anniversary of the game itself, they gave out 100 SP conversion badges, which are like newly added items to make your character stronger. And on top of that, Sea Ray and Thunderbolt December Sky history stages were added to the game, new Eternal Road stages were added, and Master League Season 5 is starting tomorrow. In other news then, there's a new Docomo campaign in Japan where you can win some merch from either the OG Gundam or from GQuuuuuX. People signing up for a new contract, with Docomo of course, between now and January the 12th will have a chance to win one of 860 prizes. There's 30 RX-78-2 and 30 GQuuuuuX layered graphs, 100 Amuro and 100 Macho acrylic stands, and then 600 10k D point vouchers. As for the things you could get this week then. First up, on the 18th, there was a restock of the Robot Spirit Strike Gundam version anime for 7,150 yen, 47 US. Unfortunately, this figure does not come with any striker packs, but it does come with a beam rifle, shield, 2 armor schneiders, 2 Eagle Stellung firing effect parts, 2 thruster effect parts, and a bunch of hand options. So while it might not be ready to take on something like the Dual Gundam or the Aegis, it does have enough weaponry to wreck a Jin piloted by a pop star. And just today, you could get some more Gundam Seed items, because over at Japanese arcades, they just got a Zagok Freedom version room light featuring a light-up mono eye, and Infinite Justice Type 2 head-shaped speakers version 2, featuring fold-out cheeks revealing those speakers. This version 2 speaker does look mostly the same as the version 1, but its main, I think, new feature is that the V-fin can be removed to store it inside of that Zagok room light. One funny thing then about these promotional images is that with both of the items, you can see a giant seam line on the Infinite Justice Type 2's horn. Usually you would expect this kind of thing to be hidden on the promotional images, but kudos to them for being real. And then finally, we got a bunch of stuff that was simply released in late October. For 1,540 yen, 10 US, there was this Char Aznable GQuuuuuX version eye mask, giving you 3 times better sleep. For 1,078 yen, 7 US, you could get the Runner Collection keychain, featuring Machu, Nyan, Shuji, and Shalia, along with some of their most trademark items on those runners. For 825 yen a pop then, 5 US, you could get a Toko acrylic stand featuring Machu, Nyan, Shuji, Char, Shalia, and the GQuuuuuuX running in their own individual styles. Like, we've got Machu just dashing forwards, Nyan is trying to catch up with her, Shuji is just jogging, chilling, whatever. Char is running ahead while also inviting Shalia to run along. Shalia is then trying to catch up to Char. And finally, the GQuuuuuuX is simply doing a backflip, because why not? And then for 36,300 yen, 238 US, there was the Alpha Omega Heero Yui and Relena Peacecraft set 30th anniversary repaint resale, featuring a newly painted version of Heero and Relena in their iconic pose from the second intro. For this week's reading material then, there was the November issue of Grand Jump Mucha, in which Gundam Rust Horizon is being serialized, and there was the first tankobon volume of Gundam 8, which also got a special fair at Animate to celebrate its release. People buying the manga or the December issue of Gundam Ace between today and November 24th will get one of 2 B5 visual boards, plus if you buy the manga from their Ikebukuro main store, you'll also get a bromide. For the apparel news then, Strict G kicked things off with a collaboration with the Harajuku clothing brand Bounty Hunter. For 9,608 yen, 64 US, you'll be able to get a t-shirt featuring the Bounty Hunter logo with either the GQuuuuuuX or the Red Gundam, both of which will become available in physical Strict G stores on the 25th, which is also when this Strict G Fab collection will be hitting. For 9,900 yen, 65 US, you'll be able to grab a sweater featuring either the OG Gundam or Char Zaku 2. And that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.